Okay, so let's really step back and get some perspective on what we're looking at here. I've seen a lot of back and forth as to what these numbers actually mean for the movie and the MonsterVerse as a whole. And I think the only truly objective thing we can say about it is that Godzilla King of the Monsters is currently in a precarious position. Because, let's be honest here, this is simultaneously failure and success. On the one hand, the movie is doing well, on the other hand, it's not doing very well, but you can't really say at this point that it's going exclusively in one direction or the other. On the one hand, the movie did underperform. The projections said it was going to make between $50 and $60 million domestically. It only raked in $49 million as of Sunday, June 2nd. I mean, that's not a drastic underperformance, mind you. It's just shy of the bottom estimates for those initial projections, but underperformance is underperformance. It didn't do as well as it was expected to do. That much is undeniable. But on the other hand, it's first place in the box office, #1 spot. It knocked Aladdin down to second place. Rocketman is a distant third. I don't even think I've seen the numbers on Ma. So that can't be denied either. It's in the top spot at the moment, even with its underperformance. It beat out a Disney movie that had a lot of nostalgia backing it, and a biopic about one of the most famous rock musicians of all time. That's not a bad thing. But at the same time, like I said, it's still underperformed. But it's #1. You see how I say it's in a precarious position? You can't really say for certain that it is a total failure or a total success. What caused the underperformance? Well, I certainly have my suspicions. I do think that the negative reviews and low Rotten Tomatoes score did have an effect. The thing is, though, I can't prove that. There's a correlation, sure, but correlation doesn't always equal causality. And ultimately, I don't know if we'll ever be able to prove definitively whether or not it did have that negative effect. It sure looks that way, but who can really say for certain? But the thing is, positive word of mouth is starting to get more traction. More people are starting to come forward and say, the movie actually isn't bad. The movie is worth seeing. So, could that turn things around? At this point, we don't know. Just like we don't know whether or not the movie will be a total failure. I mean, it's only been 4 days. Let's be honest about that. On the one hand, I'm saying that a lot in this video, I realize, but on the one hand, most movies make most of their money on opening weekend. And Godzilla is just shy of the initial projections. So I understand a lot of people saying that could be a bad sign, because it's only downhill from here. But on the other hand, positive word of mouth can turn things around. It can keep Godzilla in the #1 spot. I don't necessarily think Godzilla King of the Monsters is going to be a smash hit anymore. Those of us who thought that it was going to be a big movie, not necessarily endgame big, but still a big movie, clearly we were wrong. I don't know why we were wrong, I don't know what happened, like I said, but we missed the mark this time. But, can we still have Godzilla King of the Monsters be a success? I think so. We probably can't hope for much more than moderate success, but it can still potentially happen. Like I said, it's only been 4 days. Its theatrical run is only just beginning. Positive word of mouth is starting to spread. Who knows? There is potential for this movie to pull through. And that means those of us who like the movie need to support it. We need to spread that positive word of mouth. If you didn't like the movie for whatever reason, you saw it, you thought it was only okay, or it was actually overhyped and not what you wanted, your mind is already made up. For the rest of us, though, those of us who want to see this movie succeed, well, we need to support it. We need to spread positive word of mouth. That's the bottom line. The initial numbers are disappointing, I realize that, but let's not get bogged down by that disappointment. It ain't over till it's over, and this has only just begun. We don't know what's gonna happen next. Positive word of mouth has made differences for movies in the past. All we have to do really is keep Godzilla in the number one spot, or at least as close to the number one spot as we can, and that could make all the difference. We will see. It's undeniable now that the movie probably won't be a runaway hit, but it could still be successful. And of course, Godzilla King of the Monsters wouldn't be the first good movie to get a raw deal, either from critics or from the box office. I mean, heck, just look through film history and see how many movies with great reputations didn't necessarily do very well in the box office or with critics. You'll see quite a few surprises on that list, trust me. For now, though, let's work with what we've got. We've got a movie that's only just begun its theatrical run. We've got a little ways to go before we clear the bottom estimate for those projections. And we've got several weeks ahead of Godzilla being in theaters. And let's not forget that it only underperformed domestically. In the foreign box office, it actually has been doing pretty well, and if you go back and check those numbers I posted at the beginning of the video, you'll see that it's not a total wash. And of course we have positive word of mouth getting more and more people interested. So, will that make a difference? Only time will tell. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, as well as subscribe to the channel for more content of a similar nature. Also, check the description for links to our Twitter, DeviantArt, and Patreon pages, as well as the Amazon link for the novel Operation Red Dragon: The Daikaiju Wars Part 1, penned by yours truly. Thank you all, and we appreciate your support.